See if that one works a little bit better. I'm showing that it has some. That looks better. Okay. I think we're good. Hopefully. See if that one works a little bit better. Awesome. Okay. We are ready to go, guys. Sorry about the delay. Welcome to our first Social Saturday, where we talk about social media and how we can utilize that a little bit better, and to get more people to our food trucks and to our brand in general, with the key being to the food trucks for sales purposes. So I'd like to start with just some general social media statistics and some food truck statistics for those that think they don't need to focus on social media, and that the age group is too young for what you're seeing at your food truck type of thing. According to some 2020 demographics, 43% of food truck customers are between the ages of 25 and 44, and 19% are under the age of 25. So 62% are between 25 and 44. Now, if you look at Facebook statistics and who's on Facebook, 37% are between 25 and 35. For TikTok, it's 22% between 18 and 24. And on Instagram, we're at 61% between the ages of 18 and 34. So as you can see, the majority of the people that are on Facebook, those are the largest demographics, are our customer base. So you need to be promoting your business there. You need to be reaching out to people there. You need to be interacting with people there to get the most bang for your buck. And really, it is a cheap marketing avenue compared to print or even Google AdWords, which are still good to use and they're still pretty good value. But bang for your buck, I think social media advertising is the way to go. And today we will focus primarily on Facebook. We're going to try to keep these episodes to about a half an hour. So we'll touch over a couple topics today, see how much I ramble on with it, and we'll go from there. And the chat function, if you're listening live, the chat function is there and ready to go. So if you have questions while we're talking, feel free to put them in there to be able to see that. And so if you're listening live through it, there's a little chat bubble on the bottom of your bar there that you can enter comments and stuff. Those comments come directly to us, so use that for us. So a little bit, I'm far from an expert on social media, on any of them. I know enough to be dangerous. We do have just over 10,000 Facebook followers. I would say probably 95 to 98% of those are within our service area. So the people that are seeing it, the people that are following us are all either customers or very reasonably potential customers, which I think is what you want. It's great to have fans from all across the country, but if they're not coming to the truck or they don't have access to your truck, it kind of dilutes the value of those follows. So what we're going to focus on trying to gain local to your service area or service areas followers there. So we had a couple questions from Bubba, Top Fan Bubba, about posting, and he had asked me personally how I was getting the results I was getting and if I was boosting posts and stuff. So we had a conversation about when to post, and I think that's hugely important. When you post is as important as what you post. You need to post when people are looking at their phones and common times that people look at their phones. So we typically will post every morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. Typically a time when people are either getting ready for work, they're having breakfast, they're on their way out the door. Typically a time that some people have a phone in their hand, or at least more access to their phone. So that's our primary point of the day, to post when we have the best results. I've done posts late that were at like 8 o'clock, and there's a noticeable drop in interactions. So you want to get people for it to pop up on their screen as they're scrolling. I mean, you want it to be the first thing they see, not something that they have to scroll, that they're scrolling for 5 minutes before they see. So that's when we do the majority of our posts. So our daily posts on our location. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Two corgis is always better than one, and especially when they can't decide what they're doing. Sorry about that. Those that listen to the podcast regularly know how annoying they can be. Anyways, so back to it. So yeah, all our daily posts on our locations and specials go out at 7 o'clock. Most of our announcements we try to do around then, typically. We're starting to play with other times. So besides the 7 o'clock time, other common times we try to shoot for right about 11 o'clock. So 11 to 12, people are headed to lunch. People are thinking about lunch. People are more likely to grab their phone at work around that time. And then again, around 6 o'clock, 6 to 7 o'clock is usually a pretty good time when people are sitting down to dinner and stuff. So we want to try to focus on those times when people are looking at their phones. And really, anytime up to 8 o'clock for us has been pretty good, 8 p.m. When people are, hanging around their couches and stuff and just kind of zoning out on their phones. All great times to post to kind of help with your organic reach, where people just kind of see it in their feeds without you having to boost anything. Now, organic reach is something you definitely want. You're not paying for people to see it. It comes up in their feed naturally. So you have organic reach and paid reach. And the way you get higher organic reach then is by quality of those timed posts. So the more people that see your post, interact with your post, so likes, comments, shares are your goal here. The more often that happens and the more of those you get, the more times, or the greater the likelihood that it'll come up on their feeds organically. It's all part of the Facebook algorithm. So it awards content that is engaging, or it rewards pages that have engaging posts regularly. So as you start to build and your numbers start to get better with engagement, that's the time to double down, not the time to kind of just maintain. So the more engagement you get, the more people you're in front of, and then you can redouble down again and have more posts that are engaging. And what I mean by engaging is our posts in the morning aren't super engaging. We get decent reactions on them, but we're not asking them to engage with us. So ask questions. Polls are great, even though Facebook, the new Meta Business Suite, I can't seem to find polls anywhere anymore. I know I've seen them on other pages, so I know they're available in groups, and you can do them in groups. I have not been able to find them in the new Meta Business Suite. So if anybody has insight on that, I'd be happy to listen. But anyways, so yeah, polls, questions, what specials should we run this week? And keep in mind, you're going to get a whole bunch of different answers, and you don't necessarily need to go with unless it's overwhelming, then I would probably go with what the populace says. But you're just trying to interact, and it's a great way to kind of feel what people want or what they're looking for. So, and when they comment back, not just a like, comment back, and not generic. Generic's an okay thing to do when you're getting started, but have conversation, force the conversation. Well, no, maybe not force the conversation, but, progress the conversation. When someone says, oh, you should do this and this, you respond back with, that's a great idea, especially if it's something that's you have never done before. It's a great idea. We'll try to pursue and figure out how to do it. Just that kind of stuff where then it prompts for another engagement back. And that's what you're looking for. So the more engagement and interaction you can have with your customers and with your Facebook followers, the more likely you're going to have organic reach that is growing. So we've talked about organic. Now, if we'll switch to that paid reach, and paid reach is coming from boosted posts and ads, which are great, and we find them to be necessary. We don't boost a ton of posts. We boost our weekly posts on Mondays for our schedule for the week. And other than that, unless we got something really special going on, or if we're in a new area or a new location, we'll throw some extra boost posts in there just to get the word out. But other than that, we don't do a lot on the boosted posts. So the way it works is you create a regular post and then you have the option to boost it, which then puts it as a sponsored, kind of like a sponsored post on people's feeds. They'll see it as sponsored. They'll know that it's a sponsored post. So that when you're in there, when you go through the boost process, you have an option of picking your audience. And you can target your audience, which you absolutely 100% should be looking at and should be changing. By default, it's the entire United States, I believe, if not the entire world. Again, not bad to have fans in other regions of the world. But if you're going to pay for people to see your posts about your food truck, you're going to want them to be likely customers, or at least potential customers. So you want to target those areas in which your post is about. So for our weekly post, we'll go through and I'll make sure that every one of the cities that we're going to be in for that week are in the targeted area. And you can pick as many cities as you want, and then choose the radius from that city point out. So for the most part, most of our boosted posts cover all of West Michigan. We're in Grand Rapids. We service from Newaygo County all the way down to Cass County in the southwest part of the state. So we cover a pretty good area, and for the most part, we boost every one of our posts in that area because we're close enough most weeks that everybody in that area can get to us fairly easily. Or we're going to be there soon enough that they can find us. So, if we were a truck that stayed into one city, like if we were a Grand Rapids only truck and we didn't travel more than 10 miles outside of our radius, I would make sure that we had a 25-mile buffer past that 10-mile radius of our city center, because people will drive in if they see something they want. People will drive 20 minutes to get to a food truck or to a restaurant that they think is good. So keep that in mind, that you want to build that buffer. That doesn't mean you're servicing that area or that you're going to go to that area, but that's your customer range. That's where you can pull customers in. So you want to go beyond what you service to gain in those other customers that are possibly willing to drive in, or they'll go into whatever town for whatever other reason, or they're passing through and remember or see your post and want to stop by the truck. So targeting is crucial as far as cities, and that's how we do ours by city, and we target to not currently following our page. So I think you can do, actually I'm going to pull it up real quick just so I don't misspeak while we're on here. Let me get to a post of ours. Excuse me. So when you get into the Boost Post page, that is a hard thing to say quickly. You have options. There's an Advantage Plus creative that Facebook will take your ad or your post and kind of change it a little bit to help improve. We haven't played with that yet. We haven't allowed Facebook to do that yet. Makes me nervous. But if anybody's used the Advantage Plus, I'd be curious to see how you fared on that. And then you have a button option. So it'll include a button on all your posts. It'll be down there at the bottom. We set ours to send message. You can choose book now, learn more, shop now, sign up, or you can choose no button. But we choose send message. Most of the messages we get are generic. Can I see a menu? Where are you located? All that stuff. But it's an option to kind of start a conversation. We try to respond to everyone non-generically. But a lot of them are, can I just see a menu type of thing. So when they ask to see a menu, we try to add in a location of where we're at that day, just to try to get, push that a little bit further. Special ad categories we usually aren't in because that's about credit, employment, housing, and social issues, blah, 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 blah. So make sure you leave that unchecked. Message, template, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we get down to audience. So you can save, so you can create an audience to target and then save it. And we have one of those, and that's just our standard audience, which is pretty much all of West Michigan. In that we have about 8 towns with a 25-mile radius around those. So that helps. And then you can go down for more. There's additional options past. So we originally did the people you choose through targeting, which is where we selected our area. Now you can do people who like your page, and people similar to them, people in your local area, people who have not seen content from your page in 30 days. So we stick to the audience in the cities. We find that we get the best bang for our buck that way. And we're not spending a ton of money, and we'll get to that in a second. But then you can schedule your duration. I think minimum duration has to be 2 days, I think. So typically for our weekly posts for our locations and stuff, we go through that week. So we'll go through Sunday on those. And then our weekly posts will do about a $25 budget. So that's your budget for the whole ad campaign. It could be less than that, but it won't be over that. So we do $25, which is roughly about $4 a day. And you only pay for the clicks that happen from your boosted post. So organic stuff you don't get charged for. It's only things that are directly associated to that ad post. And they have to interact with it as in some way in order for you to be charged for that interaction, for that like or whatever. So it'll still pop up on people's feeds, but if they don't like it or anything, so they can see it and not like it, and you won't get charged for it. So you are definitely getting decent bang for your buck there. Now, engaging posts is great, and you want them to engage with it because then it's more likely that they'll follow. And if they follow, they're more likely to see it organically than versus through an ad, which is exactly what you want because then you're not paying for exposure. And then you can boost it now, or you can schedule it to boost at a later time. So yeah, we use boost posts weekly, and then that is a little bit different than ads. So a boosted post is you're just promoting a post that you've created. An ad is an entirely different animal. It doesn't pop up in your Facebook feed as a post. So yeah, you can't. It's kind of weird. So it's not a feed post. It doesn't show up on your timeline for your business page. People only see it through the ad campaign. If that makes sense. I'm sure it doesn't. So our most common ad campaign we do is to boost our followers and likes. So we have some business information on there. It has our logo and then a short description, and then it has an option to like the page. And that's just to help us gain followers, to help extend our organic reach. The other time we do ads is when we hit peak scheduling time. So we're trying to book for open houses and that kind of thing. That we will do. We'll create a flyer with all our information on it and what we're doing, what we're looking for, and then we'll run that as an ad. The like ad works really well for us. We put a lot of money behind that, though, to try to increase our following in the area. And we've had mixed success with our catering ads, so we'll still do them, and we just need to fine-tune them a little bit to make sure that they're hitting and people are seeing them a little bit better. But yeah, for our page like ad, we definitely target that just the same way we would do our boosted posts. So we target our service area because, again, we want to focus our following in our service area. So those people are more likely to come out to our truck and then pay for that ad through their dollars when they come to the truck. So that's kind of what we focus on there. It works pretty well for us. That ad pretty much runs continuously. We have it stopped right now. But since we started, before we opened, our Facebook page was dedicated to our competition barbecue team, and we just kind of switched that over. So we had about 1,200 already when we opened our window for the first time, and we're at about 10,000 now. So between July of 2019 and now, we've gained about 8,800 followers. So that's 3.5 years, roughly. So pretty good growth there. A lot of that has been from the paid ads, and a lot of it's been from organic. So I recommend it. If you got the money to be able to do it, I think it's worth it 100% because you're getting in front of more eyes. And if you target your ads properly, they're going to be likely potential customers. So yeah, that's kind of how we post and when we post, when we run boosted ads or when we run boosts and when we run ads. I'd like to get into reels and types of posts that you guys can do. Actually, we will touch on reels real quick. Reels largely came about because of Snapchat and more so because of social media platform called Musical.ly and now TikTok. Musical.ly did not become TikTok, but similar type apps. So the natural progression of social media is they usually age really young, where it's a younger demographic originally in them, and then you start to see them have an older demographic as they progress. So as Facebook users aged out of Facebook, they moved into these younger platforms. In an effort to bring those people back, the younger crowd back, they are trying to do the things that the other groups are. So Reels is kind of the answer to TikTok and Musical.ly, where it's very short form. You can edit the video, you can add some fun things to it, some music with it, and they're great. And Facebook's pushing them really hard. So you should be looking seriously into creating Reels, and they don't have to be high produced, high quality video. A simple cell phone, flip the camera around so you're taking a shot of yourself while you're on site, take a shot of your line, interact with some customers. A 15-second video, post it up real quick. All that helps in Reels, especially if you can get some interactions on them. They will move up a lot in the algorithm for you. We're starting to play around with them. We definitely aren't doing as well as we should. Hopefully that'll help once we get open again, and it'll be easier to get that kind of content out. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up there. Next week we will talk more about content type. for those that can't figure out what to post. Same pictures all the time. We've fallen into those ruts too. So we'll talk about that next Saturday on next week's Social Saturday. We'll wrap up a conversation on Facebook. If you have specific questions, either about what we talked about today or additional questions about Facebook, go ahead and throw them into any of the posts on Monday Morning Food Truck or on a comment on this post here. And let us know what you thought, and let us know what you want to hear about next with Facebook and all their ads and boost posts. So thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.